Ah, yes, you're back. Part 2 of Whiskey Business's conversation with comedian Jason Banks. I'm Greg Hansberry, and you can listen to part 1 of this podcast and maybe catch up on some archived episodes you missed at whiskeybusinesspod.com. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and on NBC's coverage of the Olympics. Thanks to our podcasting network, Evergreen Podcasts. Support the other shows that are on this network. There's a little something for everybody. Entertainment, news, sports, comedy, kids stuff. We're really grateful and proud to be part of Evergreen Podcasts. So without further ado, here it is, the conclusion of our conversation with comedian Jason Banks.
Here's the thing, things been coming that makes me just question what I want to do. You know, the first one was I was sitting there and got an email and it said TatianaBull@Disney.com. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, this is at Disney.com. Like, I don't know if you can make that email address up. I can't just make it Jason Banks. So I click on it, it's like, hey man, we enjoy your TikToks. We want to see if you want to come in for a general audition. And if you have a microphone, then you can just do it like through a Zoom, but we need a microphone. So I hit up Jared like, yo, we got to go to the studio, and I'm doing this audition with Disney. And they send me 28 characters. And I mean cartoon characters you've heard of before, like one of the ducks from like DuckTales was one of the characters. Right. And then the rest of the cartoons are basically the cartoons my kids watch nowadays. But they all had lines, and I just had to pick 3 different characters and read about 8 lines for each character. And they wanted me to read it in my voice. And they seemed excited. Mind you, this was in March, and I haven't heard anything from them, but they said it is general audition, so they get my voice. They would try to cast me through either Marvel, Pixar, or Disney. But, like, I would do the lines, and she would look excited. She'd look at the other girl, and she'd like, yeah, let's take that one. She's like, yeah, that was good. And they'd be like, Rick, take that one. So it seemed like they were excited. So I have my voices on file with Disney if they ever come across some random cartoon or something.
Not random, man. Shit. You get a Disney, a Pixar cart. That's serious shit right there, man. You get the.
As I said, it wasn't even from like that small. Like, hey man, this is like TNT. I'm like, yo, that's Disney. That was the real deal. Yeah, but then
Disney's huge, man. Disney rules. Yeah. Disney rules a lot of the world, man.
Maybe be on Mandalorian. Yeah. They got a lot of like.
And then I was hit up. It was Broken Road Productions hit me up, and now the first guy I did get hit by a couple other people like, yeah, we want to turn an animated series, but one company wanted like this whole pitch deal to like, you can't let anybody turn this into a cartoon for 2 years because we're taking our time to try to pitch this to companies. So if all of a sudden we're pitching it and then all of a sudden some company just hits it up like, hey, we're doing this now. And I guess that makes sense, right? But I didn't sign with that.
Does it?
I don't know. It seemed like it. I didn't do it though.
This is a whole new world for you. Does any of it make sense? I mean, when they look and say, what do you think, Jason? What do you say?
Oh, I have no idea. I think about it. But so I then said about Broken Road Productions, right? So they're like, hey, we want to do this the Zoom call about having this animated series. Todd Garner will be on the call. And so I was like, all right, that's cool. I was taking any Zoom call that would hit me up. So then I look up Todd Garner. Todd Garner is like the producer. He just produced the Mortal Kombat that just came out. But he also produced Paul Blart Mall Cop, Zookeeper.
He's got some
Tag.
James.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he hits me up. And he was a serious guy. He hit me up. He was a huge fan. He was able to tell me about videos, old videos. He was just like, oh, and the one when Derek did this. Oh, when the blind had, he was naming so many. And then somebody started laughing on the Zoom call. And so when they started laughing, it was only his people. They popped up on the screen and he yelled at him, Mike, turn your mic off. Every time you laugh, you pop up when I'm talking to Jason. So he turned his mic off and it's just me and him again. Serious conversation. He was going to be in Atlanta in July with oh man, I forget the girl's name, Rebel Wilson from Pitch Perfect. They're shooting a movie called Senior Year, which is actually I'm very excited to see. They haven't even heard about this yet. He was just telling me about it, but basically it's this movie where she goes to a coma like her senior year, so she misses it. So now she's like 40 years old. She goes back to high school, but she doesn't know about all of the changes, the things you shouldn't be saying.
It's like fish out of water.
Yeah. So she just talked, and Rebel Wilson's the perfect person for it. So she's saying great. All this ignorant stuff. And so he's like, you should come down, kick it with me and Rebel, man. And we could talk about the animated series. So I have his phone number, but I'll probably call him.
What do you want to do?
Oh man,
what do you want to do next?
I honestly don't even know. My honest plan, and I know it should be better. It should be to get a plan, but my honest plan is just to keep doing stand up for this year, and then just see what arises from this. Because I feel like the opportunities come at me, and I'm not really sure. Like the Disney things sound great. I don't know how much Disney pays for voiceovers, but if all of a sudden, if you get me on like Simpsons went for how long? Is this still going, or is that's still new episodes?
Yeah.
Oh my
30+ years,
gosh.
man.
Get me on that and let me talk for Bart Simpson for 30 years. I'm sure she's making a lot of money. I know it's the girl.
So is it about
There's zillionaires.
Is it about the payday and the money, or is it about do you sincerely want to accomplish something that has some note and some significance? And the reason I ask that is because, and I know, and I apologize again, you can't spit on what got you someplace. TikTok has made you huge.
Yeah.
All right, and you love doing those videos, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so is there something of significance? I mean, when you look forward, how old are you?
38.
38. Right there, man.
He's a
Right
baby.
in the sweet spot. In the sweet spot of life and a career. So when you look ahead, there's got to be some other shit that's going through your mind. Like, you know what? If I have the opportunity, I would like to do this or do that. We jokingly, when I did your podcast, Comedians in South High, I jokingly talked to you about being one of the leads in our comedy heist film. Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah.
I said you were the brains of the operation.
Yeah.
You were the brains of the operation. And Bobby Dodd, unfortunately, got killed early.
He had it coming.
I guess that's a good question, man, because it's like because I guess what I found out was what I wanted to do prior just wasn't the best idea, which was writing. I always thought that would be fun to write for like SNL. If that was my job, I lived in New York and I got up in the morning and I just went in and I sat with a room of writers and just came up with these jokes. And then it was like a 9 to 5. I lived there. I didn't have to travel, so I just went there and went back home. But then I found out it's really a lot more stressful than you think, man.
Yeah, but
and
that
not
also,
even a great pay as well.
maybe not as great pay, but it also kind of appeals to your shy nature too. Like you get to sit there and write the jokes and you ain't got to worry about going up there and doing them. But at the same time, you love doing stand-up.
Yes, which actually I'm getting past the nerve somewhat. Like it used to be, I think it was when I found out I could take my friends, right?
Right.
Because like if I was going to Memphis tomorrow and I would just go by myself, that's a lot. I go to the airport, the nerves are there. But now I just got everybody with me. And even Jared and them treat me like, I just go, guys, don't do that. Right? They grab my suitcases. They walk. I feel like sometimes I'm just walking by myself. Like I just feel like you guys. We can.
What they feel like now is like he never asked us, but I think we should carry a suitcase.
Yeah, right. We should
Like,
do this.
He packs light.
If,
It's all right.
if this little thing somehow, I don't even know what scenario would explain. These sons of bitches would never carry my bag.
well, how many? I can tell you. We Jared talked to this conversation with my agent actually. So my agent came and first time I met him was in Tempe. He flew out from LA. Well, we had a lot of Zoom calls, but he came out to the show and he came out to the 2 best shows. He saw some amazing things, and so we talked to him about the podcast. And we said, so like 85 South show. You probably don't know if you know who that is, but this is like 3 guys from MTV's Wild 'N Out with Nick Cannon, Carlos Miller, DC Young Fly, Chico Bean, and they go sell out theaters and perform their little. But they don't sit down. They actually there's a lot of them hanging out on a couch. They messing with the audience. But he said he has a couple. One of his people came out, A Small Town Murder or something like that. It's his podcast, and he came out and watched the show. And he said it's about 50. When you're getting about 50,000 downloads per episode, you're at that point where an agent can start selling your live shows and making you money.
We talked about doing that locally on that level. I wanted to do a whiskey business comedy show at the Funny Bone where it's you, let's just say you, Bobby, and Kenny. Let's just, for the sake of reference, go up and do 15 minutes to stand up and then sit down and talk to me for 15 minutes and 15 minutes and just do it that way. And that's something I've talked to Stroop. I'm overdue. Stroop and I have been in contact since post-pandemic, and we're overdue for a lunch. And I know one of the topics of conversation is going to be you. It's gonna be you. You know that.
Listen, I get excited for their Monday and Tuesday calls because people would hit me up sometimes. Like sometimes they have people sit in, and there's this one guy from Richmond to sit in, and he would just randomly hit me up like, "Hey, just so you know, we just had that call, and they just raved about you the whole." And it would be as a feature. They raved about you the whole call. So I love when you guys talk about me when I'm not there.
No,
It's
but
good
and
stuff.
you
It
should
makes
know,
me happy.
you should know it's all good, man.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so this leads me to one of my last questions of the night because we got to start wrapping it up. What do you think you're going to do? How are you going to fuck it up?
How am I gonna fuck it up?
How are you going to fuck? What do you
He's
think?
gonna say
did you
something
do-
on a whiskey business episode.
aside from doing this podcast without your agent's approval, do you ever think about that? Like, man,
No,
because now you're on a whole different level, and the stakes are higher.
Yeah.
So do you ever worry and think about how you might fuck it up? Not intentionally, sometimes unintentionally.
No, but it'll come from either the cancel culture, being upset by
Right.
something I say, or my own anger issues with people that do like we were at Tempe, right? I come down to the pool, and there was these two later there. They're like, "Oh no way, we were just at your show yesterday." So of course we talked to them for a second. And then their phones are out. Now I'm being recorded the whole time.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, I hate this. Cause I'm just sitting there in the pool with Jared, and I'm like, I wouldn't even look over there 'cause I could just see the phones. I'm on their TikTok, their social media. So it's gonna be something like that where I end up arguing with somebody. And then I do have anger issues where I feel like if you start arguing with me, I'm gonna go too far. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not a fighter, but I'm gonna go too far and say something.
His wife will hurt you.
Or here's one. It's probably gonna be my anger issues for people to get mad at me. There was this drunk chick. I was with Paramore, and I was on stage, man, and I was like, I kept telling her she was drunk, and she got mad. She didn't like it, but she was drunk. She was spilling shit, very drunk, and so she's like, I'm not. She argued with me about how she is not drunk. As soon as I get off stage, Paramore takes the stage to headline. Looks down at the couple. She's not there. He goes to the guy. He said, "Where's your girl?" He goes, "She's drunk," and the crowd just erupts. Right. So after the show, she comes out. Now this is in like Rhode Island or somewhere. It's one of these, wherever these not loony bins. Yeah, the loony bins.
It's so hard to remember all the.
I don't remember.
Psychiatric hospital.
Little Rock. Yeah, Little Rock. We're in Little Rock Looney Bin. So she comes out, and so this is like a balcony. So like you're on the second floor. So outside there's this whole balcony around the building. And she just comes out. She was like, "You're not funny. He was funny. You were so funny, but you are not funny." She kept saying it. And I let it go for a while, and I was like, all right, cool. Listen, I'm not funny, and you're a 6 at best. So let's just call it a day. And Paramore did not like that. Paramore goes, "Why couldn't you just let that drunk chick just get away with all that?" I was like, because she said it too many times.
Right.
And so I'm on the phone with Kenny, and I was like, bro, I just had to tell this chick she was a 6 because she just... And, bro, I look up, and she's in a dead sprint at me. I mean, dead. I don't know what she would do if she got to me. Her dude sprinted up. And right before I just like this, I said, "Don't let her touch me." I know what to do. I got, "Don't let her touch me." And right before he got there, he swooped her, and like her hands like right here in front of my face. And I was just standing there shocked. Like, I don't know. I told Kenny I thought about just moving over and just letting her fall off the edge, bro.
right.
I didn't know what to do. So it's gonna be either my attitude with someone because I can't hold it back. Somebody's gonna come up to me and tell me I'm not funny or something I did was wrong, and then I'm just gonna take it too far, and I'm gonna be recorded and be on TMZ. You see, Jason? He said, and I'm going to say the wrong word. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to say like some slur, but it's just going to be the wrong thing that I didn't realize I shouldn't have said.
And are you aware of the fact that window is getting smaller? That you know
Yeah.
that before all the TikTok fame and Instagram too, you are now verified on Instagram. You got
yeah.
verified on Instagram.
TikTok said no, but
The TikTok said no with 5 million plus followers. They
Listen.
still said no.
I don't think they will. You listen, I can show you right now. There's a guy on TikTok, and this is no offense to this guy. He's a guy on TikTok, and he's big into wrestling. He does wrestling. He plays a lot of wrestling music when people come out to it.
Yeah.
And he walks out of his bedroom maybe
Yeah.
wearing like the Ric Flair outfit. Nothing real special. Nothing huge. Maybe 200,000 followers.
He
was verified the
he's
other day.
verified.
Just the other day.
So why aren't they verifying you? What's their issue?
So I reached out one time because someone reached out to me. I have verified people reach out to me and be like, "Hey man, here's a slip. Just fill this out and send it to them." They reached out to me one time and started me criteria. I was like, "Well, what's the criteria?" And everything they said I meant except the very last one. They named a few things, and then they said, follow the community guidelines.
What are the community guidelines?
So that's what my videos are taking down. So it's a very they're a list, but it'll say like sexual blah 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 blah. This is like this sexual ways. This is violent. But sometimes they'll take away, like they took a video down because they said I was harassing somebody, but technically I was harassing myself. It was the video of the kids arguing back and forth, but they said it was harassment. So
you're not watching the whole thing.
Yeah. So then you can't appeal it. But here's the thing. Once you appeal it, it don't matter. If a video is shooting up, it's at 10,000, 20,000, 80,000, and then they mute it or take it down, and then you appeal it, so then they actually give it to like a group of people to watch and go, yeah, this ain't bad at all. So they put it back up, but it's no longer getting views. Now it's just sitting back there where it was because it's 8 days old. They done took it out of the algorithm, so no one sees it unless they come to my page and go look for it. So
Does that make you mad?
Yeah, especially when it's a good one. Because sometimes I'll put out a real good one. I'm like, yo, that was so good. But I mess up sometimes. Because it's like, they'll let you use a lot of music, but sometimes I'll pick the wrong music. Like, don't put a Beyonce song on there because that's coming down fast. Yeah. They're going to be like, yeah, we don't want you to play that.
But are you able to keep some of the stuff that they take down on like Instagram, some of the other
accounts?
Yeah.
Instagram has, I don't think Instagram ever taken one video down. Instagram.
And how excited did you ask to be verified on Instagram, or did they just decide to verify you? How's that work?
That went.
We will never know. So,
yeah,
so we have to live vicariously through you.
So you can ask to be verified on Instagram. There are what you can request it, but no, this was me sitting in Tempe with my agent, and then him saying something, and I go, no, I'm not verified on. He goes, you're not verified on Instagram or TikTok, and I was like, no. And he just takes out his phone, he does something. And then the next morning, I received the email. He was like, hey, man, answer these quick questions. So I answered the questions. And then the next morning, I woke up, and I went to Instagram, and I was verified. And so I was like, yo, that was fast. He goes, TikTok didn't do it yet? And I was like, nah. He's like, he goes, you may take about a week. And then he emailed me like 2 or 3 days later, and he's like, yeah, TikTok's
But with 5,200,000 followers, does it matter?
Here's why it matters. The two things that matter to me. One was the promotions. So I'm hit up by like G Fuel Energy. People are paying me decent money to do promotions. When I first started with like the 100,000, I'd get paid like 50 or 100 to do a promotion. I was like, hell yeah, I'll say I'll use your beard oil for that. But now it became good money. But it's like I feel like it'd be even better if I had that blue check mark. I feel like if I had the blue check mark, the company would be like, this even looks better because you look like you're just a celebrity promoting that stuff. And then the other one is everybody uses my videos, and verified people use my videos. So therefore, people don't even know it's me. You know, people will still come onto my video today and go, I just found out this was your voice. I've been watching this. Some people think other chicks do it. But listen,
I knew you made it when I heard somebody use your audio in their video. Like some stranger.
But no, there's celebrities doing it now.
Tight.
Like, it's interesting you say that because I've when you agreed to come on the podcast, I probably talked to 50 or 60 people, and I said, how's the podcast going? I said, I'm very excited. I got Jason Banks coming on, in a couple weeks. And I went, who? Right? But then once again. So, yeah, he's on TikTok. Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you have to do now is accept the fact that has been a blessing, right? You went to church.
Yeah.
You went down, man. You went down to church. You asked the lady. She came to you. Hey, you know what? I'm not an uber religious person, but I've said it on this podcast before. I go down the steps in my basement, and there's a set of icons that my mother said to put there, and every once in a while I pray on them, and I don't pray on them enough, and maybe I should. You did. Things change, so a higher power. All right, fine. So TikTok got you there, but the only reason TikTok got you there, man, and I sincerely believe this. The only reason TikTok got you there is because there is some other higher power that knows that you got more to do. You're not going to have 15 minutes of fame. It ain't going to be Jason Banks and Derek on these 5 million followers at TikTok, and then all of a sudden he just disappears into obscurity. You're too smart for that. You were a business analyst at Chase.
That's true.
So you have an analytic mind. At least I'm assuming, and maybe if I'm wrong, correct me, but how to analyze your shit and move forward.
Well, listen, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning what people like the most, and my voice is liked a lot. Actually, my voice was, and I told people before I hated my voice because I never felt like a man.
I'm not
voice.
fond of your voice.
But but the true TV people, they were like, when I was doing laugh tracks, they're like,
Right.
we're always glad you're back because we love your voice.
Your voice.
TikTok people, they hit me up. You know what? Here's what TikTok's cool about. I'm having celebrities hit me up. When I was after you left, so it wasn't Thursday, it was either Friday or Saturday. Leslie Jones from SNL, you know what I'm talking about?
Right, yeah.
She just randomly hit me up. She goes, quick question, I have to know, is Derek gay? Laugh out loud. So now we're in this conversation, and it lasted all night. I'll wake up 3 a.m. and look at my phone, and she's still just messaging me on Instagram, just talking about asking why he's with Amy and all these questions, bro. Just
she's invested.
yeah, Lil Yachty hit me up. Lil Jon hit me up. Tia from Tia and Tamara. Lance from NSYNC hit me up.
That's crazy.
Sean Robinson. My wife is excited about Sean Robinson. Like nobody else would know who Sean Robinson is, but she hosts a lot of the weird reality shows. So like the Basketball Wives or 90 Day Fiance,
right.
when they have that reunion on TV, it's like the black girl that sits there and talks to everybody. She commented on a video today and started following me. So my family gets excited about my random new celebrity followings I have.
That's getting the kids, obviously.
Yeah,
they kind of dig it. You can verify this or deny it. Everybody says, how did he start to explode on TikTok? And the story that I hear, the urban legend already. All right.
There's already an urban legend of how I exploded.
On how things exploded.
It's not Lil Jon.
Huh? It's not Lil Jon. No, it's Usher.
No, you mean like this? Like Usher, the celebrity, said something?
Yeah.
No,
That's not true.
no,
The story. Here's the story that's going around.
Okay.
Here's the story that's going around. All right, and then you can verify it and deny. The story is that on one of your videos, Derek is supposed to be an usher at a wedding.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, and he misunderstands it and comes dressed as Usher at a wedding. Okay, and I've not seen this video.
Okay.
So I'm just telling you, this is the urban legend that is circulating. And as a result of that video, Usher supposedly saw that video, loved it, pushed it out there, it went viral, and all of a sudden you become a TikTok sensation.
No, that's not true.
All right,
So
there you go.
here's
now you can
the
verify
truth
it.
is like I told you how we started earlier with the laugh tracks and then the Derek video and then now mind you, this happens after I leave. So I'm already with Paramore. So when I'm at Paramore, I'm at 300,000 because we're on the road. He's telling everybody, yo, he got more followers than me, and I'm at 300. So when I come back, I mean, I'm probably just about to reach 1 million at this point. And then I post that video. I post the video as Derek and Derek and Chad basically. They chilling in the kitchen. They singing "Yeah" by Usher and Lil Jon. So it's yeah. So they both singing it. And the dad comes in and he shuts the music off. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Mom said I was supposed to be Usher at the wedding because he was practicing the Usher song." He said, "No, you're not supposed to be Usher. You're supposed to be an Usher." But before he said that, he was like, and then I was going to see if Chad could be Lil Jon. And Chad's like, did you already have somebody to be Lil Jon? So then he explains what it's about. So Lil Jon pushes the video.
Okay.
So Lil Jon sees the video. He comments on it, follows me, and then he posted on his Instagram. Now, here's why that's not true. That's why I help my following at all. If you go to Lil Jon right now and you go to his Instagram or his TikTok, you can click through it, and that's all he does. If you went on TikTok right now and you just was like, yo man, I love Lil Jon, and you start talking all this shit about Lil Jon, he'll probably, if he sees it, he will just take it and put it in his Instagram. So when he did it to my video, he does it for everybody else that does his songs or anything, and none of these people blew up. And if you look at my video, that video doesn't even have, his video that he posted doesn't even have the views that I have on most of my videos. His following is less than mine as well on TikTok. So it's not like, no, he didn't blow me up. I mean, if he did, I would say it because I'll take it. What blew it up, it was really like the Derek, the thing. And then like, if you go through my thing, once you get a video that hits 1 million, that gets you so many followers.
It's the algorithm.
My videos
The
are,
algorithm,
yeah.
yeah.
And for one, there was a good few months where TikTok loved me. And they were just putting all my videos. And people would come on, they'd be like, yo, you should be paying my rent for staying on my FYP, which is like the For You page. So there's a page where it's just, they throw out every video they want to out. So I would be in everybody's. People hit me up from my hometown, like, I didn't even know you were on TikTok and you were just in my FYP. So I was everywhere for a minute. Now, maybe Lil Jon pushed it and they were like, hey, we'll put him in the algorithm. Maybe there's some backstory to it. But no, it didn't blow me up like that. It wasn't.
All right. Well, now we know. You know, because that's the story.
I'm sad because I thought that was a great story.
That's the story that I heard.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was already
I heard Blind Adam.
I think I was already at 1 million by the time Little John pushed that video
And
out.
it's funny because you've been on Whiskey Business before. You've been on with Comedians on South High.
We didn't blow you up.
Sorry,
man.
I'm sorry. But you've been on as a guest remotely during the pandemic. You were on, and you also did our first premise video.
Yeah.
Right. And
Which you made me pull.
Well,
But it's
well,
okay.
Yeah, but let me explain
No,
it real quick.
No, it's okay.
People were asking. They would come up to me.
I
They
know.
listen. They'd be like, "We just watched you do like 20-minute set, and I mean, it was somebody like it was even funnier. Like, oh, we expected it." I was like, "I got it." And then I went to it. And I was like, then I felt back. 'Cause I was like, I'm probably bringing in a lot of people. There was like, there's a lot of views on that.
Yeah.
It brought a ton of the most
of
views we ever had on a premise video. But you asked us, and I get why.
I might cut it up to like a minute section.
Yes,
one or
if
two.
you want to, we can get to something like that, or we can do something. Cause that's why I'm always willing to help. But it was just at that, and I felt back. I'm like, at the end of the day, I should have realized like it was a fucking podcast. Of course, it would be on
everywhere.
Yeah.
And I remember when you did it, and you did great. You were the first guy. I wanted somebody strong out of the gate, so I asked Banks to come in, and you were great, and we had no problem taking it down. I mean, we're friends.
And here's what I did too. And this is why I texted you late, because I texted you after like maybe the fourth, fifth person in line that came up to me, and I go, every time they say it, I go, what stage was that on? They go, I don't know, but there's 3 people sitting behind you. I said, okay. So after like the 4th or 5th person said that, I called you that night. And then you was like, yo, I thought you pocket down me. I was like, nah. I had some drinks in me. I was feeling good.
Right.
I was like, you already know I'm shy. What's a better time to talk to somebody when I have 3 drinks in me? I might as well call them up. Now, what up, Dino? How you doing, man?
I got a call from him in the middle of the night. I go, he butt dialed me. He ass dialed me. He ain't calling me. Why would Jason Banks be calling me at 1 a.m. in the morning? I mean, I was flattered, and then I go, no,
Wait, was it that time?
It was late.
You know what? Now that I think about it, no, I was in Tampa though. I was gonna say if I was in Tempe, it probably was fucking 1 in the morning here.
That's right.
But no,
Couple hours
I think
back.
I was in Tampa when I did that because Tempe was just recent.
No,
Tampa.
we were on the same time. It's okay.
Yeah, I think it might have been more like 11 o'clock. I think you were just in bed.
I don't. You and I are not besties. We don't hang out on a regular basis, but I consider you to be a friend. And the fact that you, again, in the midst of all this notoriety and current fame that you're riding right now, the fact that I know you got shit to do, man. I know you just got done with the Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the Funny Bone. I know you got family. I know you're going on vacation. I know you got Comedians on South High. The fact that you came and graced us with some time and some sincere conversation, I sincerely appreciate it, man. I really do.
Hey,
I
appreciate you guys.
And we will. Oh, trust me. Being the whores that we are, we will ask you to promote this
yeah.
on your social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we going live on TikTok now?
Yeah.
No, man, whatever the case may be. Hansberry, you got some business to wrap up?
WhiskeyBusinessPod.com. You can find everything. And yeah, Jason's been on like 3 times, a couple times with
You can go back in the archives and check that out if
Comedians
you want to.
on High.
Comedians on South High, which is a 2-parter, because that one went long down in the basement. That got serious.
When we 2019, when we did the Columbus Podcast Festival,
I forgot about
he was
that
a
one.
guest on that live.
That's the first time you were on.
Yeah.
With Dan Swart out and the whole panel.
in the premise. So you could actually see some of your material in action with
you
the
could
other
get
crew.
Jason
It's a lot
Banks
of fun.
classic.
Yeah.
Jason Banks before he was famous.
Yeah.
Which is actually the same guy, which is kind of cool.
Now he just drinks Coors.
Yeah, that's right. Coors and Jameson.
No. The only real difference is we go to Louis Vuitton sometimes. That's
you go to
really
Louis
nice.
Vuitton, you're up from Coach.
Like-
I bet you the Coach people are very disappointed.
No, we still went in there because my mom, she loves to go to New York and buy fake bags.
Yeah.
And then claim that they're real. Like we'll say, listen, it cost you $30. She'll be like, yeah, but listen, all of them didn't have the tag. See this one right here. This one they even showed me like the authentic tag right here. So I still go to Coach so I can get her a real Coach person, get her excited.
Next time you talk to your mother, remind her that I spent a year and a half in Chicago undercover busting
Yeah.
People with fake Rolexes, fake Coach bags, and Louis Vuitton. So
Yeah.
I'll be able to sniff that bitch
Yeah,
out.
yeah. She'll be upset. She'll tell you, well, the man told me. That's all it takes. That's all it takes for my mom is
She
for the
told
man to
me.
tell her.
No one would lie to this face.
Yeah. Have the man tell me. That's
No, I spent a year and a half of my life in flea markets with counterfeit goods, just breaking up an
busting
entire.
people.
I'm amazed because we went to I went to New York to do the Apollo Comedy Club. My name was on the marquee outside the
That's tight.
Apollo.
That had to be huge.
She was going down dark alleys and
Down-
going in buildings and
yeah.
she didn't care who she followed.
No. When they want that bag, they will go into the depths of
Oh, my
hell
gosh.
in New York City to get them. Yeah,
Yeah.
they will go into the most ramshackle
Right in Chinatown,
buildings.
man,
Chinatown.
Oh no, this is real.
They run across the street. They take like if they go, hey, you have this one right here in green sheet, like
Yeah.
no, but this way, and then she just takes off. You
Yeah,
just
go,
gotta follow them, man. It's
And you
insane.
do not want to get in the way of that woman who
Yeah.
was possessed to get that bag.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you know, that is they almost have like a force field around them that protects them as they go into these very dangerous buildings with very dangerous people. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's all about the sale.
Speaking of that, real quick, I get that force field now. I was in when I was in Tampa. When I go to the bathroom, security will follow me down. Security will follow me to the bathroom, stand outside. If I got in the elevator, because the Tampa, you got to take an elevator to go to the second floor. That's where the green room's at. And so I go to get an elevator, and security stops both ways. You can't even walk into the showroom. You have to wait till the elevator opens, and I get on, and then it shuts. Then they let you go by.
Wow.
I was like, that's. But here's the best part about that is Kenny. He's slow all the time. He's upstairs, and I tell him all the time, you're too slow. That's why I'll leave you. I'll leave you here. I'll get on a plane by myself. I don't like how slow you are. He's upstairs, and the host is doing his set. And Kenny's over there with the camera going, I think we're recording my set. I said, bro, why are you still up here? And all of a sudden the host goes, put your hands together for Kenny. And so Kenny runs to the elevator. And in my mind, even though it's my comedy show, in my mind, I almost said a quick prayer. I said, please don't let this elevator open when he hits this button. Like I want him to hit it, but I want somebody to be on it so he can't just get down there fast because that's how slow he is. And when he hit it, it did not open, and I was so happy. I just watched him just sit there. He looked back at me, put his hands up. I looked down at the host. The host is just sitting there dancing on stage. He didn't know what to do. That elevator took about 60 seconds to open, and that was the longest 60 seconds in Kenny's life.
Of his life. It is funny because after I watched your show at the Funny Bone, I texted you and I texted Kenny. I said, man, loved your set. I said, the pandemic has not affected you at all. I want you on the podcast as well because I'm sure we got a lot of stories to talk about how you've, progressed. And you, Mr. TikTok, okay, have texted me back immediately within an hour of the time I ain't heard shit back from Kenny.
Now listen, mind you, I am not surprised.
I have not heard
at
anything
all.
back from Kenny. Like, yeah, man, thank you, and yeah, let's do it. Nothing.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I hear that from everybody. Everybody that even says anything, they're like, yeah, and then somebody else just hit me up. Yeah, man, I booked you for a show, and I had to cancel the show because I forgot. He booked me before I was signed. And then he said, I'll hit you back on follow, but it'll probably be this date. And then then the other day, the flyer just pops up on Facebook. I had to hit him up. I was like, yo, I'm booked. And so then he goes, I was like, I can always try. He's like, anybody else? I named some people. He goes, I hit up Kenny, but he never responded. I'm like, he doesn't respond. I actually had a conversation with him at a hotel. I said, if I was your fiance, I would honestly think you cheat on me if you treat her the way you treat the rest of the world. Like, sometimes you just lie for no reason. I swear, Jerry comes to my room and goes, it's 12 o'clock. I said, we have to be out of that room by 12:30. It is 12 o'clock. He goes, well, Kenny just got in the shower, so you should be good. Right? At 12:30, I don't text him. I'm just waiting for him to show up to the room. It's 1 o'clock. He doesn't show up to the room. So I just go downstairs. He's sitting in the lobby. And I don't know why. Because I texted him. I said, hey, if you...
Kenny sitting in the lobby?
Yeah. I said, if you're past 12:30, you're paying for the room. I'm not paying for it if they charge another day. I go downstairs. He's just sitting there. I go, how long you been here? I've been down here since like 11:50. I said, Jared just came to the room at noon and said you got in the shower. So Kenny's mind is so weird that I swear his fiance have to have the heart. If they fight all the time, I know why. Because something's wrong upstairs. I love Kenny Mock. Kenny, you're my favorite guy in the world.
I love Kenny too. He's like one of the sweetest people in the world.
He's annoying as shit. He pisses me off so mad.
Well, I hope he comes on the podcast so we can talk about
I'm
that.
sure he'll be on here. But
well,
mind you,
if he ever responds
mind you
back
though,
to me,
there's been times where he just doesn't show up to our podcast.
Yeah, I know that.
The next day he'll just be like, I had a softball game. We're like, it's not even softball season. All right.
Oh,
He umps off gate. He's umpire. Supposedly.
He's an umpire.
Supposedly. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe
he's just lying.
you never know.
That's a weird lie. If you're gonna lie about something, why would you lie about being an umpire?
I'm gonna have to use that. But it's bizarre enough where it's just
make it.
realistic.
Yeah,
You know,
right?
you're like,
Like,
oh, okay, that
you
makes
can make
sense,
that
I
up.
guess.
I'm about to start. That sounds fun,
Yeah,
actually.
umpiring
Just to
softball
start telling like a
game.
random small lie that
Yeah.
just seems to make sense.
Yeah, well,
Like something
I'm not gonna try him
really-
on that.
Like really weird, but not weird enough. To, like,
But
This
it's
is
what
why I
I-
like track down all the little softball leagues in
Yeah.
town to find out. For
But
sure.
he's a good compliment. He's a good addition to the show, man. He did.
Yeah, he
was,
is.
He was solid. He made me laugh, and he's another one who I watched in the beginning and sat down in the poker room, and he started telling stories about his dad and his family, and I go, man, why aren't you doing that shit on stage?
Yeah,
You know, we talked about that on your podcast, Comedians on South High. We talked about that, and he goes, "Oh, it's too personal." I go, "No, man, that is the true funny shit right
That's
there."
what I said, man.
You know, and
My agent told me, like, he started listening to my podcast, and he was telling me some of the true stories I tell I should be doing on stage. So
yeah,
I try, but, some of them are just so weird, man. So, because, I was in 4-H, man. And I don't know if you know what 4-H is, but I was only in 4-H because we
Were
got
you
in
a
the-
pig guy or
we-
a corn guy?
we can find out right now. Man. We got in the fair for free if you were in 4-H.
Right.
So my mom was like, I'm not paying for 5 kids a day to go to the fair. So if you want to go to the fair every day, you got to be in 4-H. So I was in 4-H. To be in 4-H, you have to show an animal, right? We didn't have any animals. So my mom went out and bought us rabbits. So now we all have rabbits. Now, mind you, when you go to a show, people will show their rabbit and they take that rabbit out the cage and they sit it on the table and they back up and the judge comes up and that rabbit doesn't move. That judge pulls that rabbit's ears back. He picks him up. He checks him out. Man, my rabbit, no lie, would be in the cage and I would just be sitting there and he would look at everybody else's rabbit. He'd look at mine. I'd be ready to get everybody else on the table. My rabbit's in the cage just chewing on the cage, bro, trying to break out. And like as soon as I open it, it starts scratching the shit out of me. My hands are bleeding. I'm holding it down like this and it's trying to run away. They wouldn't even look at it. They just moved to the next rabbit. Just be like, one time my rabbit ran away. I never got it back from the fair. I couldn't catch the rabbit. Our rabbits, we never did anything with them. We bought them. They were in a cage. Then we'd come and we'd open the cage and get the rabbit food real quick and put it in there and throw it in there and shut the thing. We raised rabbits horrible. So, I tell weird stories like this on my podcast. He's like, yeah, you need to put some of that stuff in your stand-up. But
and why don't you? Because it's not. It has to go through a process. You think?
Yeah, well, it used to.
It has to go through. Does it have to translate and actually sound convincing and be real?
That's what I thought. But now I've come to the point now that if I go to open mic, I go to the same open mic every Wednesday. It's in Blackleg. It's called Red Rock Pub. And I no longer do material open mics. I only go on stage and tell any story that hit my mind that somebody else might have talked about. That I'm like, oh, that happened
You're
to me.
doing this as we speak. You're going to Blackleg and doing this as
Yeah.
we speak.
Yeah.
And how are you able to do that? Do they go crazy? When
You know what? No. At the beginning, people started finding out that I was going to be there, and Bobby come up like, "Yo, people are here because they heard you come here," and they would just be in the crowd.
Right.
So I stopped doing that, and I only do crowd work, and it helps me at shows. Every show now, I look for crowd work. I'm not sure what show you came to, but usually after my pandemic, I'll ask people what they did during the pandemic and see what they throw out at me and see where I can go with that.
Part of it. I did not get to see that.
So,
I wish I would have.
I've been doing a lot of crowd work, and I only do it open mics now to get used to it. Now I feel good about it because before anything could happen. Somebody could get shot in the middle of the club, and I'd act like it didn't happen. I just keep on talking.
Honestly, when you talk about crowd work, my favorite moment in Thursday night was there was a lady in the front row that used to work with at Chase. I think her name was Teresa.
Yeah.
Right? And she was interrupting you. And then at one point, Banks says to me, Teresa, you got to stop interrupting. You're not my team leader anymore.
I didn't realize it was her at first. She's when I tried to do the stand-up. I said, what did you do during the pandemic? And she said, worked. I said, where you work? She said, And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't even realize that was you. So then, that kind of threw me off. But, I was able to talk to her for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them turned out.
My team leader. You're not my team leader anymore. I thought that was like one of my favorite moments in the show. I fucking howled. I'm like,
heckling,
because that's so
someone you
honest.
know.
Because that's right. That's real shit.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years ago, you were in an office with her.
Yeah.
Right? You're not my team leader anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, and then my mind starts going like, I wonder what Teresa's thinking right now. I wonder if she thinks Jason Bacon's an asshole, or if she's laughing,
She's liking it.
or is she digging it? That she's the focus of the attention of the evening.
Yeah.
You know, all that stuff went through my mind. I saw the neck turn.
Yeah.
I saw the neck turn like 20 times. This guy's sitting in front of me. Neck turn. Is he on deck? Is he there yet? I want to look at him before anybody else looks at him. Right?
And they're asking in Tempe. A guy saw me. He was like, during Kenny's set. He soon saw me. Hey, can we get a picture? And he tried to get me to come to the table. And Jared, I told you, Jared, go over. Hey, he'll be taking pictures after the show. He'll like calm people down. But yeah, man, the first time it happened to me, I thought a dude was just eyeing me up. I don't know why. I don't know. It didn't catch me at first. I was in Target. I'm walking through the aisles in the electronics section, and this guy just stops. He just stands in the middle of the aisle and just stares at me. So we actually were looking for a PS5 at the moment, but I didn't want to talk to him because I didn't understand why he was looking at me. So when I walked past him, I made sure my shoulder bumped his. He wasn't moving, so I'm not moving. So we bumped shoulders. And then my wife was like, "You want to ask him?" I was like, "No, let's just," because I was kind of upset. I don't know why he was looking at me like that. And he goes, "Hey, are you from TikTok?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, man." And I like talked to him, and I felt bad, but like I stared him down, bumped shoulders on him. I was like, "Why is he think he's hard right now?" I didn't get it. So sometimes
You
I
gotta
gotta
go through me for the PS5.
Yeah. So sometimes I gotta realize that people are staring at me because they think they notice me. Because I was just like, "What the hell is that?" And then the one time I was at Olive Garden, somebody comes up to me. They're like,
wait. You were at Olive Garden?
"Yeah, I still eat there. I love Olive Garden."
Oh, you can eat breadsticks.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love to just go get a steak now. So I'll go to I'll go like the Brio or the Ocean Club. But,
Right.
But I was in Olive Garden, yeah. And this guy comes up, our server, and he goes, "Hey, are you a comedian?" I said, "Oh, look at this, from TikTok." And then he goes, "No, your hat." And my hat said "Comedians on South High." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I am." So sometimes I think they notice me, but they don't notice
Sometimes, yeah. So, but man, it's only just starting. You know, this is in the early stages of it.
Yeah, I'm with track practice. My daughter's on track with kids that are like probably from 8 to seniors.
Right.
Yeah, there's this whole little track thing going on over there in Pickerton, and the kids all know me. So I'll be at like practice, and they'll honestly be running, and they'll stop. You just hear Jason Banks from like just little kids on the track everywhere, and I just like, so that's always a
Well, only thing I'm gonna ask you is to follow the same protocol you followed this time around on the podcast. You know, I texted you. I said, "Can you do it?" You said you could. There was no, I didn't have to go through an agent or a manager. So when you get your sitcom, or you are co-starring with Kevin Hart in the next comedy buddy action film of some sort, I hope you give us the same grace and just say, "Yeah, man, I'll do it." And
yeah,
just
probably
come back.
not. But we'll see.
I know. That's why
Yeah,
I consider us.
I gotta move. Wait, where we're at? We're in Upper Arlington right now, right?
No, we're in Clintonville.
We're in Clintonville.
We're in Clintonville.
All right.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out where the rich people live around here.
There's some rich people in Clintonville.
Is it Clintonville?
Yeah, they're quiet about it.
I mean, not that I'm rich, but my main concern is if I don't move out of Columbus, am I really safe just living in the middle of anywhere? Like, if people find out Jason Banks lives there, are they gonna like? Is that bad news? Should I was thinking, should I go find out like the doctors and stuff live in Dublin, Upper Arlington, and go?
Dave Chappelle lives in Yellow Springs.
He's got a whole like compound and a farm and everything.
He probably got like security all up in there though.
Yeah, but Dave Chappelle lives in Yellow Springs and walks in the streets of downtown
just
Yellow
walks around.
Springs. With
I'm not
just-
scared to walk around. I'm just saying, am I
And
safe at
walk-
night? Am I safe at night when the hoodlums find out where I live at and they want to come see if I got
We
some
get
money?
your wife to.
See what success does? Makes your shit think differently.
Yeah.
You start worrying.
Well, some people threw that in my head, man. And I was like, well, because what happened, I was on, I have fans that are neighbors. So somebody hit me up and they go, "Hey, you live down the street from me. I'm looking at your living room area." And I'm like, "Yo, that house is like my house." And then when you went outside and shot a video, I said, "Oh, that's down the street." So she's a huge fan. She lives like 6 doors down. I never met her. I'll see her outside sometimes, but I never go talk to her. And then one time I was on live and I said something about where I live. I didn't tell people where I live. I said, yeah, something about, I don't know what I said. And then she just threw out my street. She started throwing my street out there. My brother was taking screenshots like, "Yo, you better tell this lady she's telling people where you live at." So ever since then, it always freaks me out because there's cars, but I live at like a dead end. So cars come by and then they stop, they get confused. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, they're here for me.
Cul-de-sac.
That's not a cul-de-sac. I live in Reynoldsburg, so it's like right where Bryce dead ends the Broad.
Oh shit! I know.
Well, why am I saying that now?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No, it's cool. Look, Mike, there's somebody's outside, Dad. And they explain it to me. They freak out.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch your career continue to blossom, progress, and improve, and escalate to even greater heights. But I'm also gonna watch you, because I think it'll be fascinating, psychologically speaking, to watch to see how you adapt and develop as things go on and improve in your world.
I'm scared of it because
I know you are. You should be. You should be a little scared.
I'm a very nice guy. I think I stay humble, but at the end of the day, I'm annoyed very easily. And even the people on my podcast will be like, "Jason's a dick, man." And I'm like, "Am I really though?" Because here's the thing: I get upset with these guys when if it's work related and you just can't do simple things. Like, I never mean it, but if it's like, yo, if we got a show and then you just don't show up to the show, like Bobby showed up 15 minutes late when he was supposed to host the show in Newark. Like, so I'm looking at Jared and Kenny, I'm going, this is why I'm a dick, because you guys ain't gonna say nothing. Bobby gonna show up, you guys gonna be like, Bobby! I'm the only one here going, it's 15 minutes fucking past showtime and you're the first person on stage. So my biggest concern is how easily I get annoyed,
right,
and how the world's gonna come at me different now. But in me, I'm still gonna be the same guy that gets annoyed easy. Right. So it's gonna be
you know
rough.
What they're gonna say? You changed, man.
I know.
You changed.
Yeah.
You changed.
So cool.
I remember I could be a half hour late. You wouldn't say shit.
Yeah.
Now I'm 10 minutes late and you all over me.
I'm
you
already,
changed, man.
Girl Scout
and then also the another thing is pay, right? So a weekend at the club when you're doing this compared to somebody local going, hey man, can you come do my show on Wednesday? I'll give you this.
Yeah.
You're just like, it's not even so much that it's not worth it to me, because honest with you, I would treat it like an open mic. I'll come do 15, 20 minutes. I have a huge crowd in a local spot watching me. I get to try a lot of new stuff and they get a good show.
Right.
It's not about that. It's about the fact that I'm booked up so much for the year that any other day that I give away is just taken away from my family. So I come home on Monday. I'm tired of Monday. I have Tuesday through Thursday. If I book your Thursday or Wednesday show, all you're doing is saying, is this worth coming hang out with me for 2 hours instead of your kids? And then not really, because I'm gone Thursday through
Do you not
Monday.
think for a second that that did not cross my mind, that how much I appreciated you being on this podcast tonight, that you took a night away from your family? And I know that on Wednesdays you're supposed to. That's when you usually record comedians on South High. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you came out tonight, yeah, man, I sincerely appreciate it.
Yeah.
And this one's gonna go down in the books as one of our best. So man, I'll wrap it up and let you get home to your family. They're probably asleep now. It's after 10 o'clock already. And in fact, boy, hell, how long did we go?
It's a two-parter, Dina.
We're a two-parter. We're in two-part territory.
Yeah, there might be some cutting room floor material that is only available on YouTube.
Yeah,
with Whiskey Business with Dino Tripodis.
Yeah.
Of course, you can find us at our new podcast network, evergreenpodcast.com.
Yes, you can.
We are in the fun and nostalgic section. Yeah.
It's been a little nostalgic from time to time.
Yeah. Also, the new and trending, because they just brought us on. So until they listen to us a couple times, they're like, all right.
I know we went a long time tonight, and I'm not going to apologize because I
let me
honestly,
finish doing the business, and then you can apologize all you want.
What?
Let me finish doing the business.
Okay, all right, finish.
For crying out loud.
I thought you were done.
No, I only did the Evergreen.
About 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Thank you very much for following us on your favorite podcasting app. And Jason Banks, just real quick, hit us up with your socials, including the TikTok.
TikTok is at Jason Banks Comedy. Instagram at Jason Banks Comedy. And Twitter is at Jason Banks Comic, because they wouldn't allow the last letter to pop up. There's a character limitation. Also, go to my website, jasonbankscomedy.com, for upcoming shows. And I will be in, what's around here? Liberty, July 30th through August the 1st. Nice. Miami Improv, July 23rd to the 25th. And then we're in Memphis, Tennessee, August 6th.
Oh, man, go check out Blue Note Distillery when you're down there.
Good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That Blue Note whiskey that's not available in Ohio. You should try that whiskey.
That's in Memphis?
That's a Memphis whiskey.
Yeah.
That's Blue Note. Yeah, Juke Joint whiskey.
We'll see, man. We'll end up somewhere, man.
Yeah.
We weren't going out at first, but now we're starting to go out and do things, man. We're starting to have good times on the road.
Nice.
So
That's fun.
There's so many things that I wanted to talk to him about that I still didn't get to. His choice of music, which actually we discovered it on Comedians on South High, how much you love
Celine Dion, man. Listen, bro.
Listen,
It's all coming back to me now. Such a great
played
song.
that, and I had to edit it out of the podcast so we didn't get kicked off last time. And you like Mariah Carey Christmas records?
Bro, listen. I go up on stage to a lot of Mariah Carey songs. I go up on stage to Heartbreaker. I go up on stage to the Fantasy Remix. My main song is "I Want to Sex You Up" by Color Me Bad. But to be honest with you, if you really want to know my music choice, it's honestly everything. Like if I just went to my songs right now and I played the first 10 songs that popped up randomly, you'd be like, that is crazy that it went from Tupac to Elton John, fucking Biggie to Jay-Z to Taylor Swift to One Direction to fucking to old school Carpenters and Temptations.
old school Carpenters.
Yeah, I say old school. I'm thinking Carpenters.
Carpenters,
right?
yeah.
That's all. I mean, old school in general, just old school music. Like my dad had these Carpenters. He got me hooked on Carpenters by a song. There's a song on there where like the chick actually sings with like an alien. It's like an alien's calling in. And the guy on the radio station is getting this call. He thinks it's a guy. It's called Interplanetary Extraordinary Craft.
That's a crazy group, man.
Yeah, bro.
They're out of
So
Canada.
like my dad would play these songs. So then I like so much random music. I love the Cranberries, bro. I love Zombie and but I think what got me hooked on Cranberries was it'll just be something small. So Cranberries was that movie with Adam Sandler where he has this remote and he can keep like going back in time and stuff with it. Yeah, click. And during that, he goes back and he watches himself when he met his girl. And that one song's on. It's like, you got me wrapped around your finger. And like, but I heard that, I downloaded it, and like that's my jam now. So then I started getting into Cranberries.
I worked on the Cranberries music video back in the day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I love everything.
There's still a lot of table scraps left to come back for.
I'm getting hip to Red Hot Chili Peppers and Prince are my new things. Like
I
I find out
understand
about old
those
music later. So yeah, so I'm really big into Prince and Red Hot right now.
As long as you, hey,
Well, My Guitar Gently Weeps solo is the best solo ever.
What is it?
He did the concert for George, and
Harrison.
they did While My Guitar Gently Weeps. His solo in that.
Is this Prince we're talking about?
Yeah.
Prince.
Okay.
Dude, the greatest guitar player of all time.
Yeah.
Almost next to Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
That moment,
Yeah.
you better watch that.
Alright.
No, it was Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But
Was it?
yeah,
Yeah, but it was for
it
Jordan,
was
right?
like Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, like all the Traveling Wilburys and Prince.
Yeah.
Prince.
Oh, dude,
And
that
he
was
just
the
shredded it.
best
And
moment
then he
ever.
did like this guitar drop, like
Oh,
walked
what
off
was the
stage.
guy that he falls off the stage and he catches him? Who was that guy? I forgot that guy's name.
This is for Prince?
Prince, yes, the guy.
I didn't know he did that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
dude.
come on.
Come on.
Listen.
See, you got so much left.
So much.
So much left to see and learn.
I'm really big on I love watching this is how it sounds so random, but I love Googling Can't Stop by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
And just looking to see how Flea acts. Whenever hold on. Yeah, exactly. Whenever the beat kicks in, right? So it's
Yeah.
like every time like he throws down the guitar, he does these crazy walks, and I will look at him live a concert after concert to watch him do that because I'm telling you, it's the small things that gets me excited.
Yeah,
man.
that's fun.
It is the little things that sometimes give you joy.
And he's
Bro.
naked the whole time.
He's so-
The
Flea,
guest
Flea, not
bottle
Jason.
tonight, mic drop. It was a $75 bottle at retail, and now it is worth up to $1,400.
Not anymore. We drink half
But
of it.
we cracked it open for Jason Banks because, much like his shows, this bottle is no longer available. It's sold out. Yeah, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Thank you, Greg Hansberry. Thank you, John Whitney. And thank you, Jason Banks, man. This has been a treat. This has been a real treat.
I appreciate you guys.
No, I really appreciate you, man, sincerely. And I wish you nothing. You know, through the years, I've given you nothing but love and praise. And I'm so sincerely happy for you. I really, really am. It's nice to see somebody who works hard at it and has worked hard at it for a long time to get his just desserts and move up the line and do what you're doing. So I'm happy for you. I'm happy for your family, and I wish you nothing but success moving forward, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Especially coming. I appreciate when I get those ones that come from you like that. 'Cause I get a lot from people that's like, hey man, that from the beginning would say stuff like you would say, hey man, this is amazing, you're amazing, and then still today, hey man, I saw this happening. I've also had, and it's very sad because there's a lot of in-laws that I've been seeing recently that go, I can't listen, look at you now. Remember everybody was talking shit like 10 years ago? And I was like, no.
They weren't.
Who was talking shit? Obviously, my wife's family didn't give a shit about my
I can't
career.
believe our girl married that
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah. But now they're excited, though.
Now they're excited.
Yeah, so that shit.
That's great.
I didn't
You
even
know, she married a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Thank God he's got a job at Chase.
Yeah.
Boy's got a real job. Because the comedy, they ain't gonna go nowhere.
Yeah, man. And I get it, man. It's like, listen, just like, and if my son came to me and said, hey, I want to be a rapper, I'd be like, no way.
No, don't do it.
That's not going to happen. So, I mean, I get it. I get it a little bit.
Oh, my
Stand-up's it's not the easiest
Oh,
thing.
trust me, man. Family. My mother has been so severely disappointed from the time I left Sunday 95. She has, career-wise, written me off. Like, it's just like she's so disappointed.
What's a podcast?
Yeah, what is a podcast?
What's a podcast?
What is this? What is the Oh, so you're not gonna do anything? You know, you haven't gotten any real. That's the word right there.
Yeah.
Real
Any
jobs.
real job offers? No, Ma. This is what I do now. Like, okay. Yeah. So it's like my mother's 85 years old tomorrow. Tomorrow, my mother's 85. Her birthday's tomorrow, 85.
That's awesome.
And I'm a disappointment.
Yo, my wife was excited to see you, man. I don't know. She listened to you.
She
was
listened
listening to you. I don't know why, but But then
don't know
again,
why.
don't get me wrong. I've been in her car before, and I understand because I would get in her car, and I was like,
Hey.
"What are you listening to?" She like now that she has Sirius satellite radio, it'll be some good music, but randomly. I wouldn't even know what it was. Probably your station. I would be like, I haven't even heard this
called
music
my
before.
station to win Girl Scout cookies,
How
man.
do you think I knew about the Girl Scout cookies? My wife was listening to Edwin McCain on your station. And she hit me up. She was like, you got to call Sunny 95.
I'll never forget that day as long as I live. That sounds like Jason Banks. You know why? Because people love your voice, and I recognize your
Yeah,
voice
yeah.
on a phone call.
Yeah.
So maybe they are onto something when they say your voice. We love your voice because I picked it up immediately. I said, "That's Jason Banks."
Yeah. I was like, all right. I remember that too. Like, very rarely does Dino even like go over and touch the phone. You know, that's his diva thing. Like, I answered the phone for him. But he's like, I'll take this one.
I'll
And he
take
grabs
this
the phone
call.
and be like,
Jason
"Hey,
Banks."
Jason, hey, buddy.
It's Jason Banks.
That was awesome.
All right, the mic drop in honor of Jason Banks. We're dropping the mic and we're wrapping it up. We're very excited about the future here at Whiskey Business with Evergreen Podcast, and the fact that we had Jason Banks on the show has made me very, very happy. So, my friends, until the next way less expensive bottle, see ya.